Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on enterprise zones. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. A few logistics before we get underway. We are using the GoToWebinar platform, which means the only way to engage with our panel today is going to be via chat. So to access that, you should see a control panel on the right-hand side of your screen and a drop-down that says questions. So please use that to drop those questions into that you have throughout the webinar. This is meant to be interactive with you, and we'll do our best to answer them as we go along. And we do have time set aside at the end for anything that might get missed or might warrant further discussion. Last but not least, we'll also be recording this webinar, and it'll be posted to the Economic Development website after it wraps up. Now that that's all out of the way, to kick us off, my name is Shelby Wood, and I'm the Business Resource Management Analyst with the City and the Department of Economic Development. We've worked over this last year plus to develop these virtual trainings and webinars to help support and remain connected with you and your business. Over the last year, we've hosted a variety of webinars on city-specific topics, so things such as homelessness, irrigation, city resources, and now this one on enterprise zones. But we've also partnered with the North Metro Small Business Development Center to host a variety of topics more geared towards your business. So those topics such as marketing and financials. All of those recordings and presentations have been posted to our training library that's on our Economic Development website if you want to reference them later. And remember that these trainings and webinars are free and will be ongoing. So keep your eyes open for new topics in the months to come. Advance us forward. The purpose of our webinar today is to discuss enterprise zones, what they are, why they matter, and how they could benefit your business. Westminster is uniquely positioned in that it straddles both Adams and Jefferson County. So today we have partners from both of those organizations who are going to walk us through this program, how it looks, and how they can help your business. From Adams County, we have Erin Kruger. She is the Manager, Events and Program / Enterprise Zone Administrator, also shares a really long title like I do. And from Jefferson County, we have Baxter Richardson, and he is the Director of Existing Industry. And from here, I'll kick it over to them.
Can we progress to the next slide? Thanks. Good morning, how are y'all doing? So we're here to talk about the enterprise zone, and to start off with, we're going to answer the question, what is an enterprise zone? The enterprise zone is a state tax credit program that focuses on distressed communities around the state of Colorado, and it uses census data and population tracks to focus on areas where the local economies can be improved. So this program is designed to promote job creations, business growth, and development opportunities. And it matters because qualifying businesses can receive state income tax credits, and we'll get into those specifics later on, but it's just good to know that you can receive state income tax credits for specific investment opportunities if you are in an enterprise zone. And that third bullet point is a hyperlink to the state's enterprise zone information page. Next slide, please. So this slide is about the steps to pre-certify. While this looks like a lot of steps, it really only takes about 5 to 10 minutes to pre-certify. What you basically need to do is go to the state's enterprise zone program page, which is linked in step 2. And you need to put in your physical address, your contact information for your company, the start and end date of your fiscal year, and then you need a taxpayer ID number or the federal employer identification number, something along those lines that you should have handy. And then once you do that, you'll submit your pre-certification application to us and either me or Erin, depending on if you're in Jefferson County or Adams County. And then we'll verify your address that you are in an enterprise zone. And once you're pre-certified from us, then you can go about your daily operations and focus on receiving the maximum amount of state income tax credits. The most important thing about this is you must do this every year to qualify for state tax credits. While you can pre-certify anytime, it's best that you do it before your new fiscal year starts, and you can do that within 3 months prior to that fiscal year starting. And again, it takes about 5 or 10 minutes, and it's just best that you apply early so that you can get the full benefit of the program for the full fiscal year. And can we progress to the next slide? So since pre-certification was the first step, certification is the last step. It's essentially the last bookend of this process. And the certification occurs when you're filing your taxes at the end of your fiscal year. And again, it's a fairly simple process. You would go to the state's website page, which is linked in step 1 on this slide, and you click on the apply button. You put in your pre-certification number, which you should save, and you would do your portal login, and then you can upload your documents to support the tax credits you want to be claiming. And this is best. You should be doing this through your CPA or your accounting department for audit purposes. Next slide, please. And I believe this is Erin. We'll take it over from here.
Perfect. Thanks, Baxter. Yes, so there's a total of about 10 different tax credit opportunities that businesses are eligible for once they complete that pre-certification process and are approved. The top 3 that Baxter and I usually see are going to be that investment tax credit, where businesses can get or claim up to 3% back for personal property. Good example of this is, if you're acquiring equipment or operation is ongoing testing equipment, that's a great example. Another one is going to be job training, where companies can get 12% for qualified job training programs if you are located in an enterprise zone. And these can actually be conducted at the business's physical site or even off site. There's kind of some requirements though around that. And then the last of the top 3 is the new employee credit, where businesses who are trying to increase their workforce can earn a state income tax of $1,100 per new employee. And then they also need to be, they need to at least be working 20 hours per week in or at the business facility to be able to qualify for that job or for that credit. Next slide. So looking at my map here, Adams County map, you can see that there's kind of like that orange red shaded area. Anywhere in this area, a business would qualify for an Adams County Enterprise Zone tax credit. So yes, looking at the state website, entering in your business location, it'll populate, but on the websites, it's more of like an orange shaded area for Adams County. Next slide. So in Adams County in 2021, we received 111 pre-certifications that were approved just in Westminster alone. And out of those 111 pre-certifications, 20 of them filed for the certification and they were approved in 2021. Looking at Adams County as a whole, we had 368 certifications filed that were approved. There was $3.9 million invested in the tax or in the investment tax credit area, and we were able to report 2,333 new jobs. Next slide. So as part of being an employee at AC Rep, Adams County Regional Economic Partnership, we do have a specific page on our website that's dedicated to the enterprise zone that you're more than welcome to go check out and learn more. That little hyperlink takes you right to our page. And then also on the right side, we have our fact sheet where I go and do presentations to our members and make sure that they have this fact sheet that kind of is a condensed version of that big table that we saw before. Usually I do presentations for our bankers just to make sure that they're a little bit more educated about this program. Next slide. Kick it back to you.
Thanks. So this is the Jefferson County Enterprise Zone map as well. While we don't have the biggest presence in Westminster, there are still areas of opportunity through the Enterprise Zone in Westminster. As y'all can see, just north of Arvada, whereas the Enterprise Zones in Adams County is in orange, and then the Jefferson County Enterprise Zones are in green. Not much, but there is some, and definitely worth looking into. Next slide, please. Mirroring Aaron's slides, here are some brief statistics about Jefferson County and what we've done with the enterprise zone. We had 95 pre-certifications in Westminster last year, and then 19 certifications in Westminster. If you recall, Aaron's numbers were similar. We had about 20%, I guess, matriculation from pre-certification to certification. So there is room for growth, and businesses should take that opportunity to receive those tax credits, because we would love to see a higher percentage of businesses take advantage of that. But overall, we did have 238 certifications in Jefferson County. We had over $200 million invested and over 600 new jobs, which, while that wasn't as much as Adams County, it was still significant, and we value any jobs added into the county. With Jefferson County, we've eliminated the business personal property tax. We removed the county's portion of it back in 2018 to save businesses tax dollars, and we know that that will add to more job growth and capital investment and a richer local economy. Next slide, please. And again, mirroring the same as Aaron, we have our helpful tools. Our website has a dedicated page, which is the link on the right. This just briefly again explains what the enterprise zone is. And we have the one pager that we'd be happy to share as we have a database search, and then the business pre-certification and certification walkthrough if you ever need to see that. Next slide. All right, so while all of this might sound very confusing, we'd be happy to set up a time to walk you through it in person or virtually, whether or not you're in Jefferson County or Adams County. So please feel free to reach out to either me or Aaron or Shelby if you have any questions.
All right, thanks guys, lots of great information. I want to just kind of turn it over now. I didn't see any questions come over as we were going through the PowerPoint, but if you guys do have anything, feel free to use that questions drop down. I do want to highlight that while this was pretty high level, these folks are a resource for you guys, and I know that each business has kind of particular needs and specific things that they may want to chat about. So the fact that these folks have opened up the opportunity to have those one-on-one direct conversations about how this can help your business and what those details look like, don't hesitate to reach out to them. That's what they're here for. They're happy to share the good word about this great program. You're more than welcome to reach out to me if you need any additional information too. Happy to help connect you with either of our partners if you aren't sure which one you fall into. We will be posting a copy of the PowerPoint too on our website, so that way it's something that you can take away from this after the presentation, download it, use it, maybe help you kind of develop those questions before you do a meet and greet. So know that that'll be a tool available for you as well. Let's do one last check in the chat. I don't see anything. So once again, you guys must be completely experts in covering all of the highlights here today. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up early. I know that this was short and sweet, but I want to thank you again for joining us on our webinar about enterprise zones, and a huge thank you to our county partners for making the time today to go through this program with everybody. And we look forward to talking to you soon.